Howdy folks. This is my submission for the world's biggest BRAAAM, but before I start rolling the footage, I wanted to show you what it is that I'm playing in the video because it's not self-explanatory and I'm pretty far away from the camera. The first part of it is a tenor saxophone mouthpiece and reed. If you are a saxophone player, you know what it sounds like, just as is, but for those who don't, that definitely clipped. But I guess that's the point. That's not how you're supposed to play this. Typically, the noise generated here has to travel quite a distance before it's jettisoned to your ears, and that's the body of the saxophone. But you can also run to the nearest hardware store and pick up some of this. You can see that I've made a little bit of an incision here just so that the mouthpiece will slide in. Now the only thing left between us and a BRAAAM is my ability to play a reed. And, well, you'll see. Now, just here in this room, it kind of sounds like a moose having a bad day or something. But let me go ahead and finally take you to where I did record this. Okay, let's just quickly take a look at the way that I processed this. Honestly, it's not too complicated. I'm ashamed to say that I really only got 2 solid takes while I was in the parking garage, and I ended up layering those and using that to bring a little bit of extra stereo width. The ambient folder here is my phone's audio. I figured I've got the audio, I may as well see if it's useful. And it had a sort of a ratty, kind of like gnarly mid-range thing going on. Takes 1 and 2, hard left and right. Our far mic was the Zoom H4n. That one gives us a pretty nice and natural stereo image, so I kept both of those center. I did do a little bit of EQing, and then I hit it with the Wolf compressor, which has got to be probably one of my favorite compressors of all time. That compressor is helping it to kind of bump a little bit, and you've got a wet-dry mix, so I'm doing a little parallel compression. So I'm not losing any of the detail of the snappy kind of like burst at the front, but all of the body of the sound as it progresses is kind of brought up to the foreground. The close mic was a small diaphragm condenser. It's a part of the Slate microphone modeling series. I did some pretty steep EQing, cut out all of the kind of woofy boomy stuff, and then rolled off all the high end. Thought there was plenty of high end in the other mic signals. And this way I can focus the low end and like really push the beef without bringing up a lot of the room noise as well as just the other natural high frequencies in the recording. But then there's also a really wonderful thing that you can do when you roll off high frequencies is you slap an exciter on top of it, so next in the chain. I used the tube setting for the exciter, and then I used a pretty generous amount of it. So you're taking that low fundamental that's preserved by the low-pass filter, and then you're sort of reclaiming high-frequency information by adding the upper harmonics that exciter brings. It gives you this especially heavy, sort of solid growl that would otherwise be masked or not achieved if the original natural high frequencies were still there. And then if we go up to the channel that I have this bust to, I have Bittersweet, which is a transient shaper. I actually picked this one up because of one of John Mayer's videos. You should go check that out. It was like in his like top 10 list of favorite free plugins, so go get it, it's free. And then I've also got Berserk Distortion, which was at the time for me free, which is kind of nuts to me. It's one of my favorite sort of like creative distortion plugins from Waves. I've got a clipped out distortion going on. I have a master bus that is affecting everything that we just went through. Doing a little bit more EQ to kind of balance and shape it, scoop it out a little bit. There was some buildup in the low mid, per usual. And then this one's kind of the star of the show, True Iron, which is doing some crushing and clipping to the signal. It really like thickens it up. I hope you dig it, and cheers and good luck to everyone else in this wonderful competition. As always, take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time.